We are going live on Facebook. As you guys are tuning in, I want you to give me a hashtag replay. If you're watching this on the replay, chances are give me a hashtag replay. We'll wait for a few people to pop on. I really want to know, where are you guys tuning in from? Let me know if you've got season. That's my number one question right now. I'm trying to figure out. Some states are playing, some states are not. Do the girls have a season? I'm already seeing people come through that some of the high school seasons are being canceled for the fall. Here in Nebraska, we play high school in the fall, so fingers crossed. It looks like we have a season. If you're just joining, let us know where you're from. And I have some exciting news to share. Wanted to pop on live. I got to head to a lesson here shortly. This will be about 5 minutes, and we're going to start something new. So, Chalk Talk Tuesday. I do Chalk Talk with my athletes in lessons and with my high school program, and we're just taking a few minutes to slow down and talk about the mental side of the game. So, my name is Coach AB. I teach mental skills to softball athletes to get over their fears, increase their confidence, remove their self-doubt, and just perform like you know they can, like I know they can, and that's possible with mental skills training. So, hey Raquel, how's it going? We have some fearless warriors. They're from Maine. Kelsey just finished. She was on team 5 of my mental skills program, but I wanted to come on here and just spend about 5 to 10 minutes with you guys talking about the power of mental skills. And I thought, I have chalk talks all the time with my athletes. Why not start sharing that with parents? I think there's a huge gap. Parents, if you guys aren't learning this stuff alongside with your daughters, then how can I teach this to the athletes? So if you're tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. We'll get this going, and I wanted to share something about frustrating moments with your daughter. So a lot of you guys go to lessons, you go to practices, you're starting games. I know that there are frustrating moments. Softball is hard. It's tough, right? So what happens when your daughter has a frustrating moment? Sometimes as a parent and even as a coach, it's easy to immediately go into fix mode. And our daughters and our players, they don't exactly want that. And so I want to give you guys some tools to start thinking differently about how to have those conversations with your daughter. So the title of this is How to Ask Better Questions as a Parent and as a Coach. So let me paint this picture. Say, for example, your pitcher is not hitting her spots. The typical scenario would say something like, I just need you to focus. Hit your spots. Come on, figure it out, right? And the thoughts that the girls are having, they may not tell you, but you know they're thinking it. I've seen it firsthand with my athletes, is they're thinking, Mom, I am focusing. Or Coach, what do you think I'm doing? I want to be successful. And chances are I know it, we want our athletes to be successful. So I really want to give you guys some tangible tools that you can use today in the car ride, after games, before games, even at lessons. But if you take anything away from this live, I want you to know to remove the word focus from your vocabulary. So telling an athlete to just focus isn't helpful. So allowing the girl to pause and collect her thoughts, we're not looking for an answer. So however we can create that position of authority of this is a safe place and I don't have the answers and you may not either. I'm not looking for a right or wrong answer. So for example, sometimes we may ask, what are you doing wrong, right? And immediately your daughter will go on the defense of, I don't know, and she'll shut down. Or something like, what are you doing wrong? Or why isn't your glove up? Or why aren't you doing this? And so what's their response going to be? Why am I not doing this? I don't know, Mom and Dad. And then the frustration ensues, and then they shut down, the practice ends, or it doesn't end on a good note. So one of the things that I want, I'm just seeing comments. I want you guys to understand that this is going to feel icky. It's going to feel uncomfortable, right? Embracing that ickiness and the pause. Start this with your player and letting them know, hey, I wanted to just give you this chance to feel and have this conversation. So you can say things like, how did that feel, right? How did that pitch feel? Or how did that swing feel? And they'll tell you, right? That's something that they can actually answer. How did that feel? That felt good or it felt bad. Or they might even get into, I hear this a lot, that felt weird, right? So as a pitching coach and as a high school coach, if I teach them something new, one of the first things that they'll tell you is that feels weird. Then I can have a conversation from that. So what feels weird? What are you feeling? What are you doing with your elbow? What are you doing with your hands, right? And then we're having a really productive conversation. So how did that feel? Definitely write this down, put this in your notes. How did that feel? The other thing I want you to think about is give them that opportunity to be a scientist, be a detective. So you may know that they're dropping their hands, or you may know that they're not striding out fully, but unless they come up with that solution themselves, they may not be able to feel that. So giving that time, that space, a drill to help them to see that themselves can be really, really powerful. So another question that you can ask is, what do you think you are doing wrong? And they'll tell you. So let's paint another picture. Let's say you have a game and she strikes out 3 times in a row. She's fuming, right? She's mad. Give her that space, that time. And then have that conversation and say, hey, Josie, what do you think you're doing wrong? And maybe she has an answer. Maybe she knows. Maybe she has a bad habit of doing something with her swing to where she'll tell you. And she'll say, I know that I'm just not using my power in my back leg, right? And then there again, there's that conversation. Now let's flip that into the negative. And I know that we're all guilty of this. I've done this myself as a coach. What would that look like if the first thing I said was, dude, you're not using your back leg. You have so much more power in your back leg. You're doing it wrong. Yeah, coach, I know, coach. And then they're frustrated and they walk off. So just to reiterate that, ask them, what do you think you are doing wrong? And see where that conversation leads you versus them shutting down. So how did that feel? And what do you think you are doing wrong? Opens up a completely different conversation. And then it's a two-way conversation. It's not one-sided. It's not the parent or the coach telling the athlete what they're doing wrong. And it's not the girl shutting down. And it's not the other way either, to where this two-way conversation, they might start initiating this. So if you start using these terms of how did that feel and what do you think you're doing wrong, as you create that safe place for that conversation to happen, your daughter will start coming to you more and asking you questions like, hey, what did I do wrong on that? Let's have a conversation around it. So I'm curious to see how this plays out for you guys. It has completely transformed the way that I coach. I haven't always coached that way. I'm embarrassed to admit some of the things that I've told my own athletes. I've just been completely blunt with them. And it's not that they want you to sugarcoat it. They really don't. They just want it to be a conversation, and they want you to know that they are focused and that they are trying. So I hope this is really helpful. Welcome to Chalk Talk Tuesday. If you're just joining, we're going to try to go live every Tuesday, just like I do with my girls at practice, and talk about the mental side of the game. Would love to see your comments. Oh my gosh, you guys are tuning in from everywhere. Pennsylvania, California. I'd love this. There's a little bit of a delay, but if you guys have questions, please let me know. Pop them in the comments. I would also like to take this time to answer your questions. If it's something more private that you're having an issue with your daughter, send me a DM. I'd love to answer those as well. I have a team that helps me make sure that none of those slip through the cracks. A lot of the girls reach out to me on Instagram as well, asking their questions. But really, this is coming from a place of mental skills training is becoming more widely known. We're finding that this is super helpful. If we spend 15 minutes a day working on this, it can create such a transformation in these softball players, because they understand that they're not defined by failure, and they have the tools and resources to understand how to effectively use their thoughts for good rather than bad. So next week, we're kicking off a mental skills challenge, or a mental skills reboot, if you will. It's for all softball athletes. I've had parents and coaches join the challenge as well. I would love for you guys to be a part of that. So next Tuesday, I will be going, next Monday and Tuesday, we'll kick off this challenge. If you would like to be a part of that, you can go to fearlesswarriorprogram.com/challenge. All you have to do is put in your email, and then that's the email that my team and I will send the daily challenges. So Monday through Friday of next week, we will send you the daily challenge in the morning, and then we're recapping it on Facebook Live immediately after, probably not immediately after, but 5 p.m. that day, and then you guys can start using these. I would love to see as many people as possible in this challenge. It's just a fun way to bring our community together and start talking about the mental side. You guys are awesome. I love seeing your comments. Yes. Oh my gosh, New Mexico. That's awesome, Brad. I'm so glad you guys are here. I see Texas as well. Let me know if you guys have questions. Mental skills, mental tips. That is what you're getting on Chalk Talk Tuesdays. I'm Coach AB. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Make it a great day. And I hope that you guys have some success trying out these tips. Erica, thanks. We are looking forward to the workshop starting on July 6th. Yes. Okay. I love it. Yes. Taking the mound. Her teammates aren't making the plays behind her. Totally. These are skills that we have to deal with as softball athletes, whether you're a pitcher or not. Erica, I hope that this is going to help her and understand her role in that and how you guys can start taking ownership as parents as well. So, Erica, I'm super pumped for next week. Let me know if you guys have questions. Shoot me a DM. I'll be hanging out. I'm going to head to lessons. Wanted to keep it short and sweet. Thanks for tuning in.